Greetings, my fellow Skyrim players. This is Caedo, and I will be covering the ins and outs of enchanting in this video, upon the request of someone in the Neoseeker forums. If you're looking for ways to rapidly increase your enchanting skill, or just want a better idea of how it all works, allow me to help you out. So we are first going to take a look at the enchanting skill tree. Starting in the middle, the Enchanter perk increases the overall strength of each enchantment you do. The second perk is Insightful Enchanter, which increases any Fortify skill enchant by 25%. Third down the middle is the Corpus Enchanter. It increases health, magicka, and stamina enchantments by 25%. The final skill for enchanting is Extra Effect, which allows 2 enchantments to be put on one item. Along the left side, you will notice that there are perks that increase elemental enchants. This applies to elemental resists and elemental weaponry. And the last 2 perks on the right side are Soul Squeezer, which gives soul gems a higher recharge rate for weapons, and Soul Siphon, which applies to any weapon you're wielding that has an enchantment, making it self-recharging. Alright, next I'm going to go over soul gems and what they do. As you heard earlier, they are used for recharging magical items as well as creating them, and are categorized by the size of souls they can hold. These sizes being petty, lesser, common, greater, black, and grand. All you really need to remember about these is the bigger the soul gem, the better the enchantment. Black and grand soul gems both house grand souls. Black soul gems can only house the souls of the playable races, so Nord, Imperial, Elf, and so on. And grand soul gems can only capture the souls of grand creatures, like mammoths and Draugr Death Overlords. There's also a unique soul gem that is a Daedric artifact from Azura. It allows any number of souls to be passed through it. A useful artifact indeed. For details on acquiring that, check my Daedric Artifacts guide. Alright, now I'm going to show you around the Arcane Enchanter. First you have the Disenchant option. If you picked up an enchanted piece of equipment somewhere, and want its magical effects to be used later, this is the way to do it. Be aware that it will break the item that you are disenchanting. The last 3 options are the steps to enchant something. The item section displays all of the items that you have in your inventory that do not have a magical effect, and are able to be enchanted. The enchantment section shows all of the possible enchantments that you have learned from disenchanting. Even though the experience gained from disenchanting is sizable, you can only do it so many times. But once you have a decent amount of enchantments learned, you should have enough to start enchanting your own gear. In the Soul Gems section, it is all the filled Soul Gems you have in your possession. I recommend saving all of your lower level Soul Gems for increasing your enchanting, while saving the Grand Souls for your own gear. Okay, on to filling Soul Gems. Just about any court wizard in any of the main holds will have a Tome of Soul Trap, which is a conjuration spell. It is a spell that's cast at arm's reach, and once an enemy is affected and then killed, if you have an empty soul gem that will house their soul, you will be able to capture it. If the soul gem is bigger than the current soul you are trying to capture, say you're capturing a lesser creature and you only have greater soul gems, it will put a lesser soul in the greater soul gem. But of course this doesn't work backwards. As you just saw, I soul trapped a wood elf and a frostbite spider. The wood elf soul went into my black soul gem, and the frostbite spider soul went into my lesser soul gem. And there's your basic soul trapping. Next I'm going to go over the 2 categories of enchantments. Don't worry, there's only 2. The first that appears in your enchantments list are your weapon enchantments, which have charges. That means it can only be used a certain amount of times on an enemy before the effect is no longer working on that weapon. When you plan to enchant a weapon, after you choose it you will see a scroll bar at the bottom. This will determine the strength of your enchantment, but the stronger the enchantment, the less charges it will have. When you choose your soul gem for your enchantment, that will also determine the max amount of charges that the item will have. Grand soul gems, of course, giving you the most. If you plan on selling these, don't worry too much about it, just use your petty, lesser, and common. But if you are going to use it, and want an enchantment that lasts a while, bring the strength down a little bit and add a grand soul to it. The other category of enchantments is for armor and jewelry. These enchantments are a constant effect on your character once equipped. There are no charges whatsoever, so the quality of soul gem directly affects how good the enchantment is going to be. On this necklace I was working on, I didn't have any grand soul gems left, so I went with a greater. Also, when you choose the item, enchantment, and soul gem, an option opens up at the bottom to rename the item. This works for both weapons and armor. And hey, look at there! I now have a pretty necklace of carrying capacity. Some of you may be thinking, well, this system seems pretty tedious. Well, I say in a victorious tone, here's a way to help your efficiency. You can enchant Soul Trap on a weapon. So you know that fancy mace I was using earlier? I'm going to put Soul Trap on it. Soul Trap is actually a pretty common enchantment on weapons, and can even be bought by certain blacksmiths. So anyways, I tack Soul Trap on there, and I'm not going to need the effect to be active for 10 seconds, because it really just takes a split second to kill something with a mace. So instead I bring the scroller down to 1 second, and that gives me over 3,000 charges to work with, meaning I'd sooner have a better weapon than need to recharge my mace. However, since I have the extra effect perk and the Dragonborn expansion, I have the Chaos Damage enchantment, so I put that on there too. Brings me down to 123 charges. I decided to alter the damage for 15 points, for a total of 210 charges from a Grand Soul, and renamed it the Chaos Mace. Enchanting a weapon like this for your character personalizes the game to your liking, so I highly recommend it. So the final effects on my mace is if the target dies within 1 second it fills a soul gem, and a 50% chance to hit with one of the 3 elements for 15 damage. Some of you may be saying once again, sure it's efficient, but it's rather tedious still. So if you don't want to worry about it too much and carry around all of your gems all at once, take the cool soul trap weapon that you made and give it and all your soul gems to a follower, and they'll just do it for you. Then when you're ready to enchant, take all your full soul gems off of them, and go on with enchanting. This next part is about recharging weapons. Once you or your party member use your super awesome soul trap weapon for long enough, it'll eventually run out of charges. So what you do is you go into your menu, go to that weapon, and at the bottom it will have a charge option. Use that command, and you will be given a choice between all of the full soul gems that you have. The charge amount depending on how powerful the soul is. Make sure you're not wasting your grand souls on recharges. Alright, this last part involves leveling your enchanting and strengthening your initial ability for enchants. I recommend before you start enchanting at all, go to the Guardian Stones and activate the Mage Stone. This will increase your experience gain with enchanting by 20%, ultimately speeding up the process. And this also stacks with the Rested and Well-Rested bonus. The College of Winterhold is a great place to start when you begin your enchanting, as they have an Arcane Enchanter and soul gems all over the place, as well as the Enchanting Trainer, Sergius Terrianus. Soul gems are also common in Dwemer Ruins, so if you're getting kinda low and would rather not pay for a whole bunch of them, find some Dwarven Guardians and get your soul gems that way. Also, the main quest will lead you to a place called Blackreach, a massive Dwemer city. Next time bring a pickaxe, because there are geode veins unique to Blackreach that can give you all sizes of soul gems, and these veins are everywhere. There are 3 other skills that can help you with enchanting. One of them is alchemy. If you find the ingredients to make fortify enchanting potions, you can set up your gear with much more powerful enchantments. If you're a blacksmith as well, and are looking to make money, make a decent stack of daggers, and enchant them with weaker versions of Banish, which gives the most money, Paralyze, or Health Absorb. You can also turn around and make some jewelry, and enchant the rings and amulets with carrying capacity, and this will also give you a nice bit of gold. If you like using bound weapons like myself, there is a perk in the Conjuration tree called Soul Stealer, which automatically casts Soul Trap with your bound weapons. So you're consolidating 2 requirements for soul trapping into one thing that weighs nothing. Now before any of you inquire about the restoration glitch, I'm not going to cover that because it takes fun out of the game, and I'm sure there are other guides that go over how to use that glitch. Anyways, that's pretty much all there is to it. Follow these steps and you'll be a master enchanter before you know it. TripleDX from the Neoseeker forums gets honorable mention for recommending that I make this video. I'm hoping it was to his liking and to yours as well. If you found this guide useful, click the thumbs up icon, and if you're feeling brave, leave a comment. Oh yeah, if you have any questions about the mods I'm using, the list is in the description. And thank you for watching. Best of luck on your future quests.